Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport. Red Bull have had a tumultuous year, the team principal has been caught up in a scandal, their star driver has hinted he might be leaving, and his father is causing the occasional stink. You'd be forgiven to think that they were having a bit of a poor run. Not in the middle of one of the most dominant runs for any driver or manufacturer in Formula 1 history. But with everything off track going to pot, and even the slight issue on track, let's look at who the next 5 Red Bull drivers will be after Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. This is obviously just speculation, so let me know your predictions in the comments below, and after you've subscribed to the channel, we will jump into the video. Sainz Jr. Well, he is on the market right now. If Max Verstappen does go to Mercedes, then Red Bull and Carlos Sainz would be the next best thing. If Max stays but Red Bull look to replace Sergio Perez, then I'm not so sure it's a great idea. Carlos Sainz Jr. would be more of a challenge for Max, and that might disrupt the natural order of things at Red Bull. But if they do go in for Carlos, he has a history with the team. He was a Red Bull Junior and made his debut for the B team, Toro Rosso, in 2015, when he was the teammate of Max Verstappen. He left the Red Bull fold in 2017, but if he were to make a return, I'm sure he would be a quality signing. Yuki Tsunoda. It all looked good for Daniel Ricciardo to make a return to the Red Bull big time. His best mate was the number 1 driver, he wasn't getting on with his number 2 driver, and the number 2 driver wasn't getting the results Red Bull expected. Now Ricciardo's best mate might be leaving Red Bull, and he's being outpaced by his younger Japanese teammate. Yuki Tsunoda has had an up and down time with the Racing Bulls, but in recent races is showing he has the pace and the talent to be a Red Bull mainstay. He's giving Daniel Ricciardo the thrashing of a lifetime, and making the RB team look a lot better than they should right now. He could be Red Bull's first Japanese Formula 1 driver before too long. Marta Garcia. Call it inclusivity or political correctness gone mad, but there is a really strong push for a female driver in Formula 1 right now, and eventually that pressure is going to grow and grow, to the point we will see a woman on the Formula 1 grid once again. Red Bull don't have any women in their F1 driver academy, but the Alcabazi sisters are sort of linked with the brand somewhat, but I don't think they'll ever reach the level of Formula 1. Instead, the first ever F1 Academy champion, Marta Garcia, is going to prove she can get results against male drivers over the next couple of years and earn herself a drive with the Red Bull team down the road eventually, probably once Christian Horner has left the team. The HAL 9000. As technology continues to advance at a frightening rate, we will no longer laugh at the thought of race cars driven by artificial intelligence. And so, somewhere down the line, Red Bull will employ their own version of the HAL 9000 to power their futuristic Formula 1 cars to success. Some people might consider this a step too far, that the sport would never be the same without a human being involved, but the speeds a computer can react to, and the less need for safety, may make for one hell of an exciting sport, with Red Bull leading the way, the HAL 9000. The reanimated corpse of Helmut Marko. After the last of humanity defeats their AI overlords, they'll look to new escapes to pass the time in the apocalyptic wastelands. When Formula 1 begins to look like pod racing from Star Wars: A Phantom Menace, we'll need drivers with superhuman reflexes to control these incredibly powerful machines. The only possible solution will be to reanimate the dead as undead cyborgs. After a difficult hunt for volunteers and a few failed experiments, Red Bull will turn to the one person crazy enough to make this work. The reanimated corpse of Helmut Marko will go on to be a multiple-time world champion, eclipsing every record in motorsport, making Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen look like Gareth Howe and David Pinkney. This is the only future I see for the undrinkable, heart-exploding energy drink supplier. So they are the next 5 drivers who will race for Red Bull in Formula 1. This is somewhat dependent on world events, so we'll just have to see how things work out. Let me know who you think will be a Red Bull driver in the future. If I had to pick an alternative 5 drivers, I would maybe go for Carlos Sainz Jr., Liam Lawson, Ayumu Iwasa, Arvid Lindblad and James Wharton maybe. Only time will tell. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more motorsport content. I hope you enjoyed April Fool's Day and took any news you heard with a grain of salt. Thank you very much for watching and have a good one.